What is elder law?
Elder law is a myriad of different topics. I think it's a very broad description of what we do. I don't like the term because no one thinks they're elderly, and rightly so, but it encompasses everything from Medicaid planning to estate planning to wills, trusts, probate, trust administration, power of attorneys. It's a general term that we use in estate planning.
Explain the sandwich generation.
And the sandwich generation are those kids who are taking care of mom and dad, but they're also still raising kids. We're kind of caught in the middle. And it's tough for those people because we're worried about going to school with one generation and the next, how am I going to make it through the day? It's a very tough situation, and it's what we do to help those people get through that situation. So anyone that calls in, we ask them to come to an educational workshop. It's no cost to them, and we spend with them an hour and a half, and we teach the basics of estate planning and how to protect your assets at a very base level. We can't talk like we're attorneys because not everyone is an attorney. And as attorneys, sometimes we forget that. So we want you to come in, get the education so that you can make a good decision about what plan makes sense for you.
How does Medicare and Medicaid play into this?
You know, as you may know, Medicare is a program that everyone who attains age 65 is entitled to. Medicaid is a program and it's needs-based, meaning when you have a need, we'll pay. So in Ohio, like every other state, if I need to go into a nursing home, I have to use all of my own funds until they're gone, and then the program is there. Fortunately, today there are rules for us that we can do things to make that different for your family and help them protect what they've saved their entire life for.
How do you prevent losing a lifetime of savings when you're looking for care?
So we are creatures of habit. We save, we save, we save. And what I find is that if we don't plan, that can all be used for care, for a lawsuit, creditors, anything that could happen bad to you. That's what we do. We say, how do you take this money that you've saved a lifetime for and make sure that it's not susceptible to your, what I call, predators? Years ago, it used to be we just ask you, who do you want as your executor? Who do you want as your power of attorney? And we get documents in place and say thank you, goodbye. Today we feel knowledge is power. The client has to understand what plan they're doing and why they're selecting it. Otherwise, I tell them they shouldn't be planning at all. Because there's a study that shows that 96 out of 100 people have a plan that won't work in the way they think it will work for them. So it's so imperative for us to make sure that the client is educated and again makes the right decision for them. It's interesting because I was raised in a funeral home and I was a funeral director who went to law school, and what I've realized is the compassion for these families who are going through such an emotional turmoil. It's just as important as the legal work we do. When you talk about estate planning, I think it's a generic term that people get marketed all the time for services of estate planning, and we don't know what that means. But what we show people is not only how to help them legally, financially, but we're there for them emotionally all the time.